You guys know I am very bullish on IRL, in real life experiences. And here's a little fun fact that maybe you do, maybe you don't know. I almost bought a golf course back in 2023. I actually was in contract on a winery out in Napa in 2019. Obviously, you guys know I've been in boutique hospitality and had 3 hotels up in Lake Tahoe. And while I didn't pull the trigger on that golf course, I didn't get the winery across the finish line. Both of those are 2 investments that are still on. I kind of have my bucket list of investments, things that I want to get done and across the finish line before the course of my life is over. But today I'm going to walk you through the exact thesis as to why I believe these are not only insanely fun investment opportunities, but going to be insanely profitable ones because it's not just about golf. It's not just about wine. It's about where the smart money, where the economy, where the attention is quietly moving to, and how you can position your business in front of it right now. Let's dive in. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Millionaire Mindcast. As always, your host, Matty A. If you are building wealth, if you're building a brand, if you are trying to get the most out of your life, your investments, if you want to see where the puck is going before the crowd does, this one's for you. So here's the setup. For 15 years, the smartest money on earth chased one thing, which was what? I mean, Gary Vee has said the word for so long, Ty Lopez, all the big names have talked about one thing being currency, which is attention. Capture eyeballs, right? Glue them to the screen, have the ears attached to every word that comes out of your mouth, hold that attention, and then sell against that. And that built trillion-dollar companies. And that world isn't going anywhere. I mean, why we have seen some of the largest brands and companies just invest insane amounts of money, not only into the social platforms, but now the creators who have that intention, who have those ears, who have those eyes. We all know this world is not going anywhere. But every gold rush ends the same way. When everyone mines the same hill, it gets diluted, right? The gold gets cheaper. Attention is now the cheapest thing on earth. There's a lot of different ways that you can get it. And I think people are, especially right now, somewhat overwhelmed with content, overwhelmed with options. We are drowning in it. And when something becomes infinite, its value slowly starts to collapse. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to go to zero and that we're just going to move on from this. That's definitely not the point I'm trying to make here. So the operator that asks the better questions, which is more along the lines of what is becoming scarce right now, are the ones that I think are not only doing well right now, but are positioning themselves for this next wave of opportunity. And what I believe that is becoming more and more scarce, especially in the post-COVID world, it is presence. It is real rooms. It is real rounds. It is real moments that you just can't screenshot. You can't put yourself through a Zoom meeting. You can't put yourself through a screen on your phone and experience what you're watching. That's what money chases next. And I'm calling it the presence economy. This is going to be the experience economy. And IRL is becoming a new luxury that people are obviously showing that they are willing to pay for. And let's talk about the data. Now, I don't just build theses off of a feeling or a thought, right? Maybe that kind of leads me into this space to do more research, but I like to build it on data. I like to let data drive my decisions, especially when it comes to where I invest my time, my money, my attention. So here's the evidence, and it's not subtle. It is overwhelmingly right in front of us, and I think it's only going to continue to expand. Americans are now spending more on experiences than on things. Think about that for a second. Experiential spending is up more than 30% over pre-pandemic levels. We got a record 5.2 billion people are expected to fly just this year in 2026. And live concerts in stadiums, that is up 60% year over year, already year to date. People are showing, right, that they're voting with their wallets and they're choosing to be in person. They're choosing to be there in the room, in person with people with the real life experience. And the clearest example, because I love playing golf, is that I have seen many different data points in many different industries that support this exact thesis and narrative that I'm talking about. But I'll use one that I'm passionate about, which is golf. Now, over a decade ago, a lot of people wrote golf off. It's an old man's game, it's a dying sport, and they couldn't be more dead wrong. In fact, in the exact era everyone said belongs to the phones and the screen, surprisingly, golf grew its player base more than 40% in just 6 years. It's approaching 50 million players right now. Last year, it set a record for rounds played, and it got younger, it got more diverse, and it got more female than it's ever been before. But here's the number that made me kind of sit up and go, whoa. So over 21 million people say that they want to start playing golf and they haven't yet, right? That's almost, call it 40% growth from where it sits right now. So the demand already exists and it's just waiting for the right opportunities, the right spaces, the right experiences that will pull more people just like that into the fold. What's missing right now isn't interest, it's experiences worth showing up for. And whoever can fill that gap are going to be the ones who profit and laugh all the way to the bank. Think about how this may apply to your world, your business, your passion, your hobby, that you know that there's interest, growing demand for, and yet there may not be the options in real life for those individuals to really be incentivized to show up and pay for it. So let me put kind of my operator lens on, right? My real estate investor, my business owner operating kind of lens and perspective here. Because this is where I think it gets practical, right? When you see millions of people wanting something that they can't get, that is not a trend, that is a supply gap. And a supply gap is where fortunes are made. So here's the analogy that I kind of keep coming back to. A screen is a vending machine. It's fast, it's cheap, but it's also kind of forgettable, comes and goes very quickly, right? I mean, we can barely keep people's attention for more than 5 seconds as they, scroll through their phone or their feed. An experience is more like a dinner table. It's slower. Yeah, it probably costs more, a little more expensive, but it's where the relationships, it's where the memories that are made, it's where the conversations that are had that change your life. That is the table that people want to be at. Everybody's building better vending machines, which, don't get me wrong, there's a market for that. It's not going anywhere. We don't need to beat that dead horse. However, my area of passion and focus and attention, and where I see really good brands and really good creators crushing it right now, and I think we're going to see a lot more of this, is they're not trying to build better vending machines. They're trying to build better tables to get people to come and sit down with them. And this is the moat, I think, right? You can't pirate a Tuesday night that mattered. You can't stream a handshake. You can't, maybe your competitor can copy your funnel. They can copy your ads. They can copy your pricing structure. They can do all of that very quickly and easily within seconds, especially with AI now. But what they cannot copy is the feeling someone had in the room that you created, the feeling that someone, had when you were the catalyst for creating a lifelong memory with a best friend or with their kids or their family, right? The experience is the defensibility. in any business model going forward. And I think the really smart brands are leaning into this and they see this in a really big way. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm so excited to announce if you are an investor looking to generate consistent passive income, then I've got something for you. I just launched the Imagos Income Fund. It is a private investment debt fund. So instead of relying on long-term appreciation or big exit events like most real estate syndications do, we decided to keep it simple. Focus on first position asset-backed lending just like a bank, meaning your investment is backed by real collateral and structured to produce income from day one. The target return, 10% paid out annually and also paid out monthly. So no guesswork, real passive returns, true mailbox money. And because we're in the debt position, not equity, we're able to prioritize downside protection, maintain shorter durations, and stay in control of the risk, which is most important in environments like this. This is built for investors who want steady cash flow, strong capital preservation, and real asset exposure without the headaches of owning, managing, and waiting years for a payoff. So if this resonates with you, if you want to learn more, I put together a full investor presentation breaking everything down. All you got to do is just text the word income to 844-447-1555. That's income to 844-447-1555. I'll send you everything so you can see if it's a fit for your portfolio. So let me get specific here because I don't, want this to kind of stay high level theory. I think there's obviously, application and research that's going to need to be thought through and how it may apply to your world, whatever you sell, right? Whether it's SaaS, real estate, coaching, e-com, you're a service-based business, whatever it may be. I want you to think through the lens of how can I layer in IRL into my business model? How can I layer in real life experiences for my customers? And here's what it actually does for you. One, it slashes your customer acquisition cost, right? A cold ad costs you money and trust. But, if you think of, I get 20 ideal clients in a room and I am the catalyst, I am the layer in which these people can experience a dinner or a workshop or a round of golf or, yoga with goats. I don't know, right? And you're not selling anymore. You're just hosting. People buy from people that they've broken bread with. I know when I get around individuals and I kind of strip down hey, this isn't a business meeting that we got to kind of figure out how to get through lunch together or, a Zoom call together. This is us just playing some golf and we're hanging out for the next 3 hours and we're out in nature and we're being a little competitive and we're shit talking and I'm asking you about your wife and your kids and I'm asking you about your goals and, oh man, I actually like that guy. By the end of the round, I'm like, I feel like I know this person a little bit more, right? You go and experience something in any, capacity or facet of life with somebody else. There's something catalyzing about that. I can't tell you how many of the people that came to my Napa event last year for the Wise Investor Collective and how many we started as strangers and finished as friends because we drank wine together. We sat in workshops together. We learned together. We shared vulnerabilities and challenges together. Like that's the stuff that people are finding extreme value in. And that's ultimately what unlocks taking relationships, taking opportunities, and ultimately taking transactions to the next level. People buy from people that they've broken bread with. And one great event, one great experience can outperform months of paid traffic or digital content. So again, I'm not saying to do away with it. I'm just thinking of how to bolt it into your business and your strategy with how you're going to grow opportunities in your life going forward. Now, number two, it turns customers into a community. And a community in this world, I think, is the moat. And AI, with everything becoming less personalized, more digital, more disconnected, people now more than ever just want to feel connected to something that aligns with them, their goals, their beliefs, who they want to surround themselves with, who they want to become. I think it's really, really important to be thinking about how you're creating and building community in your life, anybody can undercut your price. Nobody can undercut your belonging. And when your customers have relationships with each other because of you, they oftentimes don't leave. That retention, that stickiness goes way up. Your churn drops and your referrals compound. I mean, think of Harley Davidson, right? I mean, like that's a cult. Think of CrossFit gyms, cult. That's every brand people tattoo on their body. They didn't sell a product, they sold a room, they sold a community, they sold a tribe to belong to. I mean, GoBundance. I've been a part of GoBundance in this mastermind for going on 12 years. And while it's expensive and it's pricey, I do it because of the community. I do it because of the brand. I do it because of the tribe that I feel I'm a part of, right? And guess what they do really, really well? In real life experiences. So, something to think about there. 3 is it's the fastest path to capital and partnerships. I have never raised meaningful money over a cold email. It happens over dinners, on trips, at mastermind events. It happens on the golf course. It happens at, um, you know, real experiences that we share together and build that camaraderie, that trust. So proximity builds trust, and trust moves eventually to transactions or deals or referrals or revenue. So if you want capital, stop pitching and start hosting. Get people in the room, put the right people in the same room, and let the relationships do the work. Fourth is and manufactures attention that you don't have to pay for. One remarkable in-person moment becomes 50 pieces of content, right? Think about the photos, the testimonials, the you had to be there, type of FOMO that gets generated from a lot of these IRL experiences. The experience is the top of the funnel. And also, if you think about it, the bottom of the funnel. You're not choosing between IRL and online. IRL is going to oftentimes feed and play into your online presence, your online strategies. I mean, think about all the people that are showcasing their highlight reel and they've got massive followings online. It's because they're documenting their in real life experiences that so many other people are craving on the other side of that screen. So if you can give people a seat at that table, that's something that can completely elevate and transform your business, your network, your capital. So the reframe, right, is an experience isn't a marketing expense. It's an asset that pays you in customers and loyalty and capital and content. And it can be a moat that a competitor can't just screenshot and duplicate and compete with you on. So the people who are going to really lean into this and create those, and again, guys, this doesn't need to be anything massive. It could be really small, intimate groups, really small, intimate IRL experiences. This doesn't have to be a 50,000 person concert venue that you got to figure out how to get bodies into, right? And if that is your business model, great. But think about how this can apply to many of the sub niches of business and how by you being the catalyst, you being the creator of that environment, and you being the facilitator of that, all of the benefits that can come from it. So, tactical starting point, you don't need to buy a golf course, right? Maybe start with the dinner for 8. Maybe start with a quarterly client experience. Maybe think of a farm to fork table, chef that can come and do something for all of your top 5 team members, your top 5 customers, whatever it may be, a small retreat. Just test it and measure who buys, who refers, who becomes a, raving fan of your business, and then scale what works. So, which, again, let's finish this up. Brings me back to the golf course. One of the things that I intend to build in this lifetime is a world-class golf hospitality experience. And I want to be, precise. This is not just a golf course. This is going to be a place. This is going to be a membership. This is going to be where the round is just the excuse, but the relationships, the memories, the belongings are the actual product. And so those are the things that I am thinking about. Your homework is to think about whatever you're building. Stop asking, how do I capture more attention? And, start asking what real world experience can I create that people can't get anywhere else and would drive multiple hours to come, or even fly multiple hours to come and be a part of. If you can nail that in your business, and again, you can start super hyper local, you can start bigger, but just thinking about that, not how do I capture more attention, but what in real life experience can I create that feels aligned with my business model, aligned with something my customers would love and enjoy, and start by testing right there. The future isn't more screen time, in my opinion. It's more life. It's getting more experience out of life. And I do believe IRL is the new luxury. Presence is the new premium, and connection is a real currency that people are going to be collecting. They are starving for it. And the entrepreneurs who build the rooms we're showing up for are going to own the next decade. I am betting everything on this. I believe it. We'll see how this ages. But the question is, do you see that as well? Let me know your thoughts. If you're watching this on YouTube, drop a comment down below. If you are listening in, shoot me a text, 844-447-1555. Guys, if you enjoy the show, as always, please take 60 seconds, leave a review. It means the world to me. Share this with somebody that you think could get some value from it. As always, keep investing in yourself and your wealth on your march to $1 million and beyond. I'll see you in the next episode. Well, that wraps up today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, you guys know this show would not be what it is without you, the amazing listener, the support, sharing this out with other people who can gain value from it, taking 60 seconds to leave a review. If you haven't done so already, those things mean the world to us and ultimately help us spread this message out to as many people as we possibly can to help them on their wealth building journey. If you have any particular links or resources that you're trying to track down that were mentioned in this interview, be sure to check out this episode at millionairemindcast.com, where you can find access to all that information. And of course, if you haven't checked out the Wise Investor Vault yet, be sure to head over to wiseinvestorvault.com to check out all the tools, all the resources, the checklists, the spreadsheets, the trackers, all kinds of amazing things that can help you on your wealth building journey at the wiseinvestorvault.com. If you haven't connected with me on social media yet, I'm consistently putting out more content, stories, value to help you on your wealth building journey. And one of the best and most exciting things for me on a weekly basis is getting to connect with you guys. Getting your DMs, hearing what things impacted you, what you need help with is a big way that we continue to drive the content for this show. So if we're not connected and following each other on Instagram, on social media at official Matty A, give me a like and a follow. Would love to connect with you there. And of course, don't forget to get on my deals list. If you're an accredited investor, you want to look at more deal flow. You want to see what deals I have access to, what deals I'm raising capital for. This is an exclusive list that I only put out to my accredited investor list, my Millionaire Mindcast family. So text the word deals to 844-447-1555. And with that being said, thank you again so much for supporting the show. Until next week's episode, keep investing in yourself and your wealth on your march to $1 million and beyond. Cheers.